everyone, welcome back to my channel, and if you are new, welcome. My name is Meg. I do put out videos a couple times a week, so if you are not subscribed, make sure you hit the subscribe button, and then if you want to be notified when my videos are live, if you hit the bell button up there, you will be notified. So today I have a first impression video for you guys on the NYX Total Control Drop Foundation. I was super excited to test this out. I feel like I've been in a bit of a foundation rut lately, so I'm just excited to see if there was an affordable drugstore option that ended up working out well for me. So let's go ahead and get into knowing a little bit about this product before we get into the review. So I am basing this off of Ulta's website because I feel like that's where a lot of people end up purchasing NYX products from. I feel like they have the best variety of NYX products, and that is where I picked mine up from. So according to the website, it says, from sheer to full, your ideal coverage is just drops away with NYX Cosmetics Total Drop Control Foundation. Fine-tune this velvety matte foundation with the included dropper. Simply adjust the number of drops until you create the look you're feeling today. Want more coverage? Add more drops. Buff expertly using the Total Control Drop Foundation brush for a seriously smooth finish. Basically, and for how to use, it just says to take coverage from sheer to full as you continue to add drops, apply and blend using the brush that they recommend with the foundation. And it retails for $13.99. It is 0.43 ounces, and the brush also retails for $13.99. And it looks like they have 24 shade options, so I feel like that's about a typical shade range for most brands. Alrighty, so that wraps it up for the information part. So if you'd like to see how I get on with this foundation, then keep on watching. Hey guys, so don't mind my appearance right now. I'm in the middle of toning my hair, which, by the way, if you'd like to know how I do or how I accomplish that at home, click the card up there that's floating around. I do have a video on it, and there will also be a video in the down bar. But let's go ahead and get into this video. I have a feeling the one shade is going to be way too light, but we will see. This is the NYX Total Control Custom Drops. Here are the two shades of the Total Control Drop Foundation that I got. Keep these packages nice. I always end up ripping through them. Interesting. So this is in the shade Porcelain. And then the other shade that I got was Pale. So I have a feeling that Pale is going to be too pale, which is crazy. I feel like I never say that about foundations, but there is a shade that's even lighter than these two on their website called Alabaster. So I'm gonna go ahead and do like a little swatch on my face to see what matches me best. And you're also supposed to shake these super well before use. That is so pale, but that's so nice that there's foundation that pale. You know, I think I might be able to get away with mixing the two. So there is Pale, and then this is Porcelain. So Porcelain is definitely more on the nude side, where Pale definitely seems like it has more yellow undertones to it. For the purpose of today's video, I am just going to go ahead and go with the Pale shade, which was the darker shade, and test that out. I'm going to go ahead and use a primer because I always use one. This is my Urban Decay Primer Potion. My face is like super moisturized. I did some masks and stuff on my face last night, so I should be good with dry patches. I did an exfoliating mask, and then I did a super hydrating face mask. Alright, so on the website, they do suggest that you use their specialized brush. I should honestly probably wash this before using it, but I don't got time for that, so I'm just going to be naughty today and just use this brush fresh. This is what the brush looks like. It has an angle and like a little bit of a dip to it. It does feel super soft and super nice. I have super dry skin, and I just feel like brushes always leave marks and streaks on my face. So I'm going to do one half of my face with the brush, and then the other half with this Beauty Complexion sponge from Real Techniques. So I know it says that 4 drops is full coverage, but I know there's no way 4 drops is going to cover my face. So I'm just going to go ahead and add drops as I please. I do feel like this is going to end up being a pretty good match for my skin. And I do feel like the brush is actually doing a nice job of blending the foundation out. I really don't feel like I'm getting a lot of brush strokes on my face. Alright, so here is half of my face done. I feel like this provided a pretty decent coverage. It feels like there's literally nothing on my skin, so it's super lightweight. I don't really see it clinging to many dry patches, not that I really have any right now. But the foundation looks pretty nice. I can see it clinging to like a little bit of a spot that's like right on the crease of my nose. But other than that, I feel like this did a pretty good job. If you have pretty clear and even skin, you really like won't need much of this product. Like this should be enough. However, I'm gonna give this a minute, do the other side of my face, and then see if this builds up nicely. So here is a close-up of my face. I feel like the foundation is sitting pretty well on my skin, and it does give you a nice dewy finish, by the way. I do think that the brush is the best way to apply it. Even though most of us are so adapted to using the Beauty Blender, it did suck up a lot of product and it went on super sheer. So I still feel like there's some redness sitting underneath. It's like weird. It's like there's a cast on the side of my face with some peeking out underneath. But yeah, I definitely like the way the brush looked. So now I'm just going to go ahead and put a second layer on and see how this foundation builds up. So here is the difference between one layer and two. I definitely feel like the second layer, especially using a brush, you're just building it on top of what's already there. I don't really feel like it's melting into my skin and blending into my skin, but we'll see after I finish this side. That should be a good chance for this side to set. All right, so here is 2 layers of the foundation. I don't necessarily like how this foundation built up, so now I'm just going to kind of go in with my Beauty Blender and just hope like it kind of melts into my skin, because right now it just looks like there's product sitting on top of my face instead of like blending into my face. And then one thing that I will say is that it is crease city around my eyes. So under my eyes there's a lot of creasing, and then on my eyelids it just took no time, so be aware, maybe keep the foundation away from the under eye area. I'm going to finish up the rest of my face and then be back to give you guys my thoughts. Alright you guys, so I finished up my face. I just did some super light makeup for today. Don't mind the mascara smudge under my eye. I will get that when I walk into the bathroom. But I just wanted to let you guys know this half of my face I set with my RCMA No Color Powder. And this side isn't set. I feel like my highlight is a lot more crazy looking on this side that wasn't set. But I will say that I felt a difference. As soon as I set this with the powder, it instantly felt like nothing was on my face and it felt super light. And then this side of my face just felt heavier because I didn't set it with the powder. With my nose, I've just been having issues with foundation in general, so I'm not sure if it's this formula or just foundation in general, but whenever I run the highlight down my nose with the brush, it just sort of eats away the foundation. So I feel like it almost needed to be set into place. I do think that the side that I set with powder looks more airbrushed. This side, I feel like I can see more where the foundation has sunk into any fine lines in my pores. So I definitely like the powder side better for now. I will let you guys know how this wears throughout the day. It's 1:22 p.m. right now, so I will let you guys know how this wears throughout the day. Alright you guys, so it is 4:19 p.m. I've had the foundation on for just about 3 hours and I do have some thoughts. I do feel like the foundation looks really nice on my skin after it has settled in. I can see it clinging to some drier areas, but this, ooh, you can see my sunglass mark still. Oh, it definitely left impressions from my sunglasses. I feel like I've been inside for almost an hour, so like, sucks that you can really see the marks. Okay, so as you can see, every little impression from my sunglasses is on my nose. No bueno. As I mentioned earlier, I set this side with powder and this side without powder. I definitely like the foundation set with powder. I feel like it's a foundation that needs to be set with the powder. I feel like this side never really set. It feels super tacky. Anytime you touch your face, there's just a lot of transfer. So as you guys see from the close-up, it definitely wiped off a lot more on this side than on this side. I do feel like my powder products blended a lot nicer, which makes total sense. If I have a powder as a base, powders are going to blend nicer on top of it. When you don't set with the powder, it kind of gets a little bit muddy. You get a lot more pigmentation, so that's why my highlight is a lot more harsh. My bronzer is a lot more harsh on here. But the good news is that the powder products do show up nicely on top of the foundation. Surprisingly, this porcelain shade is too pale for me. I don't think I've ever had a foundation be too pale for me. So what I think I'm gonna do is keep the porcelain on hand for when I do have my super pale moments, because I feel like I've been out in the sun a little bit more. I noticed that my body is a lot more golden looking than my face. When I was looking in natural lighting, it looks pretty good in the studio lights, but natural light, it's definitely looks like I have a mask on. So I think I'm gonna return the pale shade, which is like the second to lightest color, and exchange it. I think light ivory was the next one up, and exchange it for that and hope that that's a better match for my face. So I'm really happy to say if you're super pale and pasty, there are gonna be shades light enough for you, which is amazing news. So this is going to wrap up the video. I'm not going to come back and do a final check-in because I just feel like I have my thoughts gathered for the day. I do think that it does wear nicely. It's not super matte. There is kind of like a nice glow to it. And what I think is super interesting, going back to this side being set, normally when I set my face with powder, it gets more of that dried effect that I was showing you guys earlier, like on my forehead. You can really see it clinging to the dry patches. You can really see that the foundation is doing that more so on the side that I didn't set with powder, which is crazy to me. Normally when I set with powder, it sort of cakes up on my face like that, but setting with powder just really did give it an airbrush finish. So in other words, this foundation definitely needs to be set, and then especially if you have oily skin, you will want to set this foundation. So now we get to the part where I say if I think it is worth it. As I stated in the beginning of the video, it's 0.43 fluid ounces, so it's not even half an ounce of product. It's $14, which the price tag does sound reasonable considering it is a drugstore product. However, most foundations that are at the drugstore in that price range are at least a whole ounce of product. This isn't even half an ounce. And then you also have to pay $13.99 for the brush, which I highly recommend. I really love the way the brush applied the product. So when you're looking at that, that comes to a total of about almost $28 for a foundation and a brush, which again, isn't that bad of a deal. However, I feel like you need to use a lot of this product to get it on your face because a whole use 1 to 2 drops. That's not going to cover anyone's face, like maybe like 1 to 2 drops per quadrant on your face. But I feel like I had to use a decent amount of product, and I feel like I'm going to run out of it quickly if I were to use it every day. So again, for $14 to be going through product that fast, I feel like it's almost worth it to just buy a higher end foundation that you really like. I do think that this is great for everyday wear. If I don't want to wear like a heavier full coverage foundation or a higher end foundation, if I want to save that for special occasions, this is totally going to work for an everyday scenario. I mean, I like it. I don't not like it, and I don't love it. So I'm definitely going to keep it. Like I said, use it as an everyday foundation, maybe exchange for a darker foundation. Over time, maybe my feelings will change and it will lean towards one end of the spectrum. But for now, I think that if you're looking for a new drugstore foundation to try out, I think that it's worth you testing it. I mean, at the end of the day, worst comes to worst, you hate it, you return it, you get your money back. Not that big of a deal. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, found it helpful. Don't forget to subscribe, and then I have all my social media links down below so you can follow me there and we can interact more. Leave me a comment down below with what foundation you've been loving lately. I'm still on the hunt to find another great one. I would love to hear from you guys. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.